Hello, welcome to PlayStation Access. My name is Nathan and I'm here with Rob.
Hello.
Rob, I've been playing my game again.
What a surprise.
I know.
Code Vein. Anything Dark Souls like, and you're just, you take it upon yourself now, don't you? I'm the Access person who has to do the hard Dark Souls games. I will sacrifice myself to play it.
Well, where were you?
You love it, really. I wasn't at Gamescom this year.
Exactly, so I had to do it. It wasn't my fault. So it turned out, we knew that we had an appointment to go and see Code Vein at Gamescom. The game's out quite soon, so I was wondering what they were going to show. And it's actually an updated build of the area which I played not very well at E3. So it was an interesting thing to return to, especially because all of this version of the game is in Japanese. So even just finding out how to invert the camera was a journey of discovery, which I decided to cut out in the video. So I knew basically what I was doing. I don't know if you remember, the video that I made at E3 was called "Is It Really This Hard?" Because I sort of struggled through this area, understood it a little bit, and then skipped to the boss and died. And the reason I wanted to put all of this gameplay on the channel is because kind of the opposite thing happens here, and I don't think it's because I'm loads better at the game. So in this one, we're going to see me make a path through the level itself, and then hopefully have a more successful run at the boss. The title is already that I won, so I don't know why I'm being coy.
Well, we know that, if you're putting a video of a boss fight on the channel, it basically doesn't go on the channel unless you win the boss fight.
Well, that's not, it's not even quite true, but there's certainly several capture sessions have lasted for hours, because it is much better to be like, oh, we actually pulled it off, everybody.
This is the game that you made a Namco PR work late because you were determined you weren't leaving their office until you'd beaten the boss.
And I want to genuinely stress that was for the sake of the viewers and not for the sake of me. I was glad that I did it, but it's because I wanted to show the game off.
I love how you even convinced yourself, don't you? You've even convinced yourself of that.
So a little bit of information about what's happening, and I guess in general I haven't really given an explanation for what Code Vein is. So Code Vein, if you haven't seen it before, is an upcoming game from Namco Bandai, and it is in the Soulsborne genre. They're very open about that. It's a hardcore action RPG, and it has, as you can see, more of an anime visual style, and the story is about a future in which there's been a sort of cataclysmic war. Within that war, for some reason, which is fairly mysterious and will be explained during the game if you pay lots of attention, humans developed a parasite which was basically vampiric. It turned people into vampires.
Right.
But the problem was some of the vampires, they become lost. The bloodlust takes over and you become lost. Revenants are, good vampires, and that's what you are, one of these people. And you come back to life and you can't remember your previous life, and you exist in this weird post-apocalyptic world with the monsters created by this war still hanging around.
So everyone's been turned into a vampire. Some vampires are good and some are bad.
Basically, yes. And there aren't that many humans, so blood is in short supply, but you can get it from trees which grow blood now.
Excellent.
This guy here, I think there was a different monster at this point in the level when I played at E3, but this is basically where I got to and I couldn't survive. So you'll see that I have a companion. That's like how this game works. Yeah, but look, my companion has res me, or if she gets in a heal. But her name is Io, by the way. If you've seen our, what is the game about 5 Things video, she's the lady in white that you wake up next to.
I'm sure you've told me this already, but Io is AI controlled, right?
Yep, absolutely. And there are, in your hub area that you kind of find towards the beginning of the game as the game's being explained to you, there are several companions that you can choose from. Io was selected in this build, and she's very strong.
She's great.
And
She's way more use than Lydia in Skyrim.
Well, and I would say that the biggest difference in between the version of this game that I played last time and this one is that it's been... it could be that my character's a better level, but I wasn't actually doing that much more damage. And I think really what is more different is that she's doing much more significant damage to bad people.
So that's the thing that's different this time.
I believe so. Or the game maybe in general might have been tuned. Every time I've seen this game, because they started showing it and letting us capturing it quite early, it looks better, and it looks, I think, from the first time we played it to now, it looks significantly better, and it plays better as well. And it's really developed a sense of what it is and what makes it different, and I guess I'll talk little bit about that. In the bottom right hand corner, again, I will have explained this in previous videos. You can see those 2 sort of diamond formations.
Yes.
Those are gifts, and they play a very important part in the combat, because the combat isn't. I mean, you can have weapons. You switch between weapons. It does feel ostensibly quite like Dark Souls. There are heavier weapons that make you move a bit slower and attack a bit slower, and they do more damage. But in general, having come straight from Sekiro to this, the combat really isn't meant to be as kind of sophisticated and dodging, parrying. It's not like that. It's much more to do with how you set up your build, because you can change between classes depending on your gear, and depending on, you can just change mid-level. And it's much more to do with what gifts you develop and equip and how you use them, and then also what companion you have and what gifts they have. So the gifts are, you can see I've got flipping loads of them at this point.
Yeah.
There's 8, and look, I'm pressing R2, and then they're on the D-pad, and then they're on the face buttons as well. And they use, right next to that you can see 5 out of 20. That's my Ichor, and that's what I use to power my gifts. So
it's a good job you've got Io with you, isn't it? Because
yep,
you'd have been dead there as well.
I would have been, yeah. And that was like, this is a mid-boss, like sort of guarding the last part of the level. And on my previous run through, we did genuinely beat her first time, right? But not this time. And I've been knocked down to this lower part of the level. I thought it might go somewhere else completely, but it's actually just a loop back to the top. What else is important to know?
Wow, that thing went down quickly.
Yeah, this is what I mean. Io's just like absolutely bossing.
No nonsense.
Absolutely bossing it.
Maybe they saw you coming. They're like, load the really high level IO build.
Right, yeah.
Because otherwise he'll be here
forever.
Until next Gamescom.
Super companion. And so I ran into, one of these ladies, and in my other video I saw there were 2 of these, I'm not sure what they're called, in an area called the Depth. So as well as kind of the main part of the game, that you'll be just unlocking different sort of areas and going through them and fighting bosses, there is an area called the Depth, which is sort of humankind, well, the revenants reclaiming parts of the world in order to search for more blood and more ways of sort of restoring things, which we don't have here. But that's the only place I've seen her before. She's quite frightening, and has a big hammer. So another mid, I guess, could be considered a mid-boss, or certainly a very tough one.
What happened then?
That
was amazing.
I had conjured a bunch of spikes, and the big lady fell on them. And I had nothing to do with it. What else is going on? You can see that I have over on the left there, above my health, I have no more that kind of green star. That's my health, my Estus Flask equivalent. So what am I doing with I can't remember what I did with my gifts. Look, I think I've done like power up, been killed already. That's what those swords are. It gives me an attack boost. Hoping that Io's gonna aggro so that I can just hit this guy in the back a bunch of times.
So your gifts, once you use them, are they just on a cooldown until you can use them again? Yeah,
and obviously different cooldowns for different gifts, and the whole thing has got to be balanced by how much Ichor I have. You can get Ichor from enemies. It's much easier to, there's a couple of different attacks, but they're slightly harder than normal attacks, like charge up or backstab, but they're harder to land than normal attacks. So, once you're in an easy part of the level, Io's dying for. But that's very bad for me. This is the best thing that I did. Dodging this, which would have killed me, it's a horrible area of effect attack, and then realising that I couldn't just stay here. I had to do something, and he had too much health for me to take him on my own. So I've got no health myself. I can't boost my health, so I ran away. It's
the classic Nathan tactic there.
Absolutely. And then I realised once I got here, it's a missile. So this is like a bonfire equivalent. So I knew I could rest here. So I have
Let's not worry about Io then.
No, she reses.
Oh, she's back.
Yeah, because we're vampires, so it's fine. And that meant
now you can go back and kill that thing.
And I've got health. And it turned out that maybe the best way of taking this guy on was just to keep him in this corridor and batter him with all of my health. So that if you're wondering what sophisticated tactics I used, it was that: bring him down an alley and kick him.
Well, sometimes the simplest tactics are the best tactics.
Yeah.
Get them in a bottleneck so they can't go anywhere.
Just do loads of damage.
Yeah. Do you think you're going to be getting the platinum trophy on this game, though?
I don't think I'm going to be good enough. I think that it depends too much on experimenting with different builds. Like I said, they're called blood casts. They're like different classes, and then within that, like, some of them are better at some gifts than others. Like, some classes are better at ranged attacks, and I think it depends on what bosses or what enemies that you're see how much that hurt. What enemies you're fighting, and using the right companion. So I don't know if I'm good at, like, persevering with it, like necromancer builds. This works. I'll play the entire game like this. But I think there's a lot of depth to it.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think you're going to be good enough
Thanks.
to get it.
Thanks,
You don't even try. Don't even try.
I won't, don't worry. Look, this is close as well. This all of my health has gone now. So even with this, but I did what actually wanted us to fight here.
Oh, that's cool.
I've accidentally done a backstab. He just turned around, but I was just attacking him.
I'm glad you freely admitted that was a complete fluke.
There's no way I meant to do that. I was looking back at my capture, going, "Huh."
I do like how, you know, like you said, it's very, you know, Soulsborne-y, the combat, but then it's got those little flashes of anime magic.
Yeah.
Like that little close-up there, lovely cinematic flourish. Great stuff.
It's really tried, I think, to bring in those elements of there's tons of, like, you play as a custom character, and if you're interested in that and how it works, look at our other video. There's tons of depth to the customization, and so this is where I end up. The boss battle against the Blade Bearer, who in our last video I think I maybe got to a second stage but died extremely shortly afterwards. And again, the difference is definitely I do the same thing. I'm trying to, like, keep her focus on me. I know her attacks from E3, so I'm, like, just basically circling and strafing and jumping out the way. But I was just absolutely leathering her. And then, look, I'm getting in.
Nice.
Ooh, slash, missed.
So your tactic is to basically be the tank and draw all of the aggro and let Io do the damage.
An agile tank. I'm trying to run away. Yeah, I can't really take the damage, but I can. I'm more like, you know, that kid at school who would be really mean to you but was too fast to ever catch. I'm that guy. I can actually remember the name.
Like the main bully's little terrier that they send out.
Yes, yeah, exactly. I was gonna name names, but I do still
might
remember.
Be watching.
Yeah, exactly. I do still remember what that kid was called. His first name is Lee. Thanks, Lee. So I'm trying to get in for once she gets stunned, trying to get in to do loads of damage, but I'm just nothing I can do in terms of.
I mean, you've nearly won. It's almost over. She's got what?
No, I remind you, there's 2 phases, which is something I knew, which is why I'm trying to, like, not spam all of my. I've used loads of my Ica, but I was trying not to use all of my.
Well, that's easy. The first stage is easy. There we go. Done.
Dun, dun, dun.
Nothing to worry about.
Well, at E3 I thought I'd won at that point. I was very sad when she came back with fire.
What does she do now?
She's just like the same, but with added. She was sort of icy before, and now she's ice and fire.
Nice.
Yeah.
I like how the bosses in this, you know, traditionally in these games, the bosses are just massive, whereas this one is just like cool.
Agile.
Extra cool design.
I thought I was going to totally mess this up. Well, I am dead, and Naya's healed me, but that's because I didn't have a lock on, so I was just dodging into a wall like an idiot. And I didn't know, I didn't know how much health she'd have or what my realistic chances were. So this was the point I started to really be like, I've been here before. I did badly. I've got 2 loads of health. I've got a companion who seems to be absolutely bossing it. Let's do this. I was pretty pumped. Do you think I do it here?
I mean, I'm sure you do, like as we've already discussed.
That's true. Yeah. Other companions that you can have, if you're interested in those. I wish I'd played through a level with different companions while understanding the game in the way that I do now. I could have explored it a bit more. The best thing that I've seen that companions do is just heal me and do loads of damage, but different ones have got, like, different abilities and different playstyles. Some of them use range attacks.
And can you change your companion, like mid-game, or do you have to pick one at the start and stay with them?
No, you can change them. You can go back to the hub area and change them. I don't know if you can change them mid-level, like a missile if you're resting, if you want to switch someone up specifically for the boss or what, but yeah, you can definitely use different companions at different times. Although Io is, because she's the one who wakes up with you at the beginning, she is your story-wise, you're connected in a way that I think becomes revealed through the game. And right at the beginning, she doesn't know who she is or what her name is or anything, because the Revenants forget everything.
She's doing very well.
Yes.
I mean, you basically won this fight. Io has won this fight.
She's doing great. Thanks, Io. I've still got loads of, I've still got like a health thing that I can use as well. There's always a danger that if she dies or follow me, or doesn't have enough like mana, or actually takes help for her to heal me. I won't help. So that was what I was slightly worried about. But no, we did it.
Nice.
So she's off. She's dead. And it's important that I showed everyone that a fictional lady who beat me is now dead. And if you enjoyed watching that, then please like this video. Code Vein's out on the 27th of September on PlayStation 4 if you are interested, so do keep an eye out for it. I've really enjoyed what I've played so far. Please subscribe to PlayStation Access, hit that notification bell, and we'll see you again soon.